Hey everyone, this is John Garrett, DramaDomain.com, and this is another Vampire Diaries review. This is Season 2, Episode 5. Very, very good episode. A lot of good developments this episode, so let's get into it. Starting off with a flashback, and who would it be but Uncle Mason? And we see him at a bar, and he's kicking it, blah, blah, blah. Look at this guy in the background. He's looking kind of salty about something, which we'll find out later. He's beating Mason's ass for apparently hooking up with his girlfriend or hitting on her or something. You know, what's going on here? Why are you doing this? But anyway, turns out Mason had to defend himself, so he ended up killing the guy because he just wouldn't stop coming at him, so he had to do something. And he's telling this to Tyler, like, hey man, this is how I triggered the curse, so you got to watch it. You know, even if it's an accident, any death, any human death at your hand is going to trigger the werewolf curse, and he's going to turn into a werewolf, which is to be avoided at all costs if possible, obviously. So, you know, we can see it started happening right away. As soon as he killed this guy, you know, holy crap, I'm turning into a werewolf. But anyway, that's punishment enough, I guess. You know, so they didn't mention how he legally got out of this. I suppose if it was self-defense, he got out of it pretty, you know, easily, but whatever. So that's the situation with him. And he's telling them, hey man, I got to deal with this, but, you know, hopefully you won't have to deal with it. But he's still looking for the moon rock. Where's that moon rock? And Tyler's like, oh, you know, I think I might know where it is. You know, let's check this out. Check this safe out. I'm thinking, is he going to give him this rock? Did he put it back in there? And then he's going to pretend he didn't know where it was. But it turns out he didn't give it to him. He doesn't give it to him. So at this point, Mason still on the hunt for the moon rock. Back over at Elena's, you know, Jeremy, it's kind of like, how is he going to be involved in this? Jeremy's like, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And she's telling them, hey, Mason's a werewolf. We're just kind of keeping you in the loop just so you know what's going on. But they don't really want him in the loop, which is fine with me. Because, you know, I don't really care much for Jeremy's storyline. But, you know, with Anna gone, I really don't care what happens to the dude. But I guess he's there, so he's got to be involved somehow. I don't know. Anyway, so when you see a scene like this, and somebody opens up a door, and it's a vampire story, you can damn well bet there's a vampire behind that door when she closes it. And of course there is. It's Stefan. I don't know if you remember, but they were having a fake-ass argument, and they're trying to show everyone that they're split up so Catherine doesn't get mad and start killing people. So, you know, they have to sneak and get their little hugs and kisses in, you know, behind everyone's back. So they kind of come up with a plan like, you know, something about, if I say this, it means I love you. And if you say this, then that means you love me, and blah, blah, blah. And it was really, really lame because these two are kind of lame. And they're the main characters, but there's other more interesting people, such as Caroline's mom here. This is the sheriff. And they're planning for another event, festival. There's all kind of festivals in this town. This town is always up to something. So she's planning to go on this trip for Caroline and help her out with this event. And Caroline is being a huge biatch, as usual. But, I mean, she has more reason because she's a vampire. But she's giving her mom a lot of hassle. I mean, I still really don't know exactly what the story was. She blames her for the husband leaving, didn't turn out the husband was gay. I can't remember exactly, but she's being a pissy-ass teenager. And luckily, I like Caroline a lot now, so I'm willing to forgive her a lot of it. But last season, I wasn't trying to hear none of that. Anyway, so this is the event, Mystic Falls Historical Society Volunteer Day. And, the mayor's wife. But she's now the acting mayor. You know, I like this chick. I like her. I want to see a lot more of her. But I understand she's a bit character here, so there's not going to be too much of her. And this is really it for this episode. That's all you see is her blathering on about something, and then it's over. Meanwhile, Stefan, he tries to make up with Mason. If you recall last episode, Damon stabbed that mofo, and it didn't work out. And, you know, Damon kind of came off looking like a punk, biatch. But anyway, Stefan's like, hey, man, we need to just calm this down and be chill. And Mason doesn't want to hear that shit. He's like, hey, man, I'm coming after Damon. And Stefan's telling him, you don't want to do that. You don't want to fuck with the Salvatore brothers, man. We're the Salvatore brothers. Have you not heard of us? We will whoop your monkey ass. And that's what he's telling them. And you know, Mason's like, hey, man, you know, whatever. But I suppose we can have a truce for now. So it kind of ends up like, yeah, we're going to be at a truce. Damon shows up like, hey, you don't believe that, do you? And Stefan's like, man, I gotta believe it, because otherwise this is gonna go crazy. He's not gonna spiral out of control. Who knows what's gonna happen? And at that little watering hole they go to, Jeremy here is he's checking out what's his face? Yeah, this guy, Tyler, and he's drawing something. Let me back up. This chick, remember this chick from the other episode, and she was the one that Tyler was trying to get busy with, but really Caroline had compelled her. And this other girl here is kind of sweet on Jeremy, and you know she's checking him out, and so we can see that there's going to be a little get together here, and she's like, I wonder if I can get a little piece of that. And it's like, oh god, what's going to happen to this chick? So you can bet that something's going to happen to her. And so he's trying to, Jeremy's like, hey, you know, Tyler, what's up, man? You turned into a werewolf yet? And he's like, no, I haven't turned into one yet. But no, he doesn't know that Jeremy knows anything. So he's being a dick as usual. And chicks show up like, yeah, what's up? Hey, party at my house. And then he's like, woo, like a werewolf call or something. No, he didn't really do that, but you know, that's what I would do if I was a werewolf. Anyway, so that's going on in the future. Meanwhile, back at the event, Mason is up to some shit, man. I don't know what's up with this dude. So he comes up and he's telling the sheriff, hey, you know that Damon and Stefan are vampires, right? She's like, what are you talking about, dude? That's impossible. You know, Damon and me are cool, because, you know, she's sweet on Damon. And he's like, no. Dude, they're totally vampires and they can walk in the sun and everything. And she's like, no, there's no way. He's like, look at those two douchebags. They look like damn vampires walking in the sun. And she's like, well, how are we going to prove that? He's like, leave it up to me. I'll prove it. And meanwhile, Caroline and what's her face here, Elena, are talking about something stupid. She's trying to pretend that she's broken up with Stefan and blah, 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 which, you know, she knows that Caroline is feeding information to Catherine, so she has to pretend here and not tell her the truth. So anyway, Liz here is being confronted by Damon. And Damon's like, hey, what's going on? And she's acting really scared. So he's like, damn, you seem like you're kind of upset. What's really going on? And she's like, no, nothing, no problem. But she's like, you're a dirty-ass vampire. I don't want to deal with you. And so she tells him that, hey, Caroline is being a real bitch. So he goes over to Caroline, why are you being a biatch? But she's like, dude, I'm trying to listen to Elena and Stefan have this fake-ass argument. So if you don't mind. So that's what's going on here. And for those of you who haven't heard my older reviews, I have an Elena impression that I'm going to do right now. There's not that much time, so I'm going to do a little bit here. Hold on. Stefan. That's how it goes. So, and I don't know that actress. She was not here right now. I know it seems like she's probably right here, but no, they call me the mimic. I'm the man of 1,000 voices. So that wasn't her. That was me. Anyway, so they're pretending to have the fake-ass argument because people are listening. You know, the vampires can hear them, so they're having their fake-ass argument. And then they do the little code words like, "Oh, I love you. No, I love you." And, you know, it was embarrassing. Anyway, so back at the Lockwood mansion, they're having a party here, and then they're like, "Hey, you know, we should look at Jeremy's artwork," which, you know, is what you always do at a party. So they're like, damn, man, let's take a look here. Oh, it looks like a werewolf. What's up with that, man? And you know, if I was Tyler, I'd be like, man, I ought to choke your ass for drawing a picture of a damn werewolf. Oh, shit, he did choke him. He choked him, man. That's what I would have done. I was like, come in here with that shit. So he's like, hey, what's up with drawing a werewolf? And he's like, dude, I know everything. I know everything. I know you're a werewolf, and I know about your uncle. Meanwhile, speaking of the uncle, you know, him and Damon are not cool, so they're having their little witty battle and being smarmy and everything, and you know, whatever. So, you know, what is Mason up to? How is he gonna pull this off? So, you know, Stefan's like, hey man, leave him alone, and no man, you know, we gotta deal with this shit. All right, whatever. Let's just have you know, oh boy, she's looking. What's she looking at? Chick's like, hey, would you have some cool, refreshing lemonade? Yeah, not a problem. I'll have some of that. She goes, wow, what the? Oh, that was awful. Oh god. There was vervain in that, man. There was vervain in the damn lemonade. And who could have put that in there? You know it was Mason. Dude is crazy, and you know, he needs his monkey ass whooped. And so they decide they're gonna whoop his ass. But the sheriff is like, hey, we gotta call in the boys, call in my dogs to take care of these dudes. So she's calling for backup. And Caroline's like, something's up here. Something's going on. My mom's leaving. I got to see what's going on here. So she gets involved. And, you know, Stefan, Damon, okay, we got to take this dude out. We got to take him out, man. And they decide that they're gonna stop him. So they go and they confront him in the woods. But the shit was obviously a trap, man. And here's what I don't get. You know, they're like, hey, we're 160 years old. And they fall into this damn trap. It's like, we're going to beat this dude's ass, except, oh, God, no, I'm shot. I'm shot. No. Oh, shucks, I'm shot. Damon, help me. No, I'm shot too. I can't help you. Can't help you out. So they get taken down fairly easily. You would think that they would be a little bit more savvy. Remember at the beginning of the series, wasn't Damon a bit more savvy? You couldn't stop the dude. You couldn't stop him, but now he gets stopped, you know, every other episode, get punked out like a biatch. I was disgusted. Anyway, so Caroline is like, hey, sounds like a couple of vampires getting shot. So she's like, I got to get involved in this somehow. And then they go back to these mofos that nobody really cares about at this point because they just got shot. You know, two interesting people got shot. But anyway, so turns out that Tyler's like, hey, man, I got this moon rock and blah, blah, blah. I don't know what it does, but I got it. So not that anybody cared at this point. Anyway, so the sheriff is taking Salvatore brothers down under the Lockwood, old Lockwood estate where we saw before where what's his name tried to chain himself up. And she's like, yeah, I'm about to kill him, so get on out of here. And he wants to watch them die, but she's like, no, this is council business, so you gotta go, man, got to go. So he leaves, and she commences to torturing and shooting up Damon. And you know, I think she wanted a piece of Damon, and that's the thing. When she realized she couldn't get a piece, she got mad. And these chicks on this show, when they don't get the action that they're expecting to get, they get pissed. And you don't want to fuck with that. Anyway, meanwhile, out here in the woods, Caroline is on the trail. She's like, I think they went this way, man. I can hear, you know, hoof prints or something. I don't know. So anyway, here comes Mason, and this is kind of strange too, where he just turns real malevolent really quickly. And it's like, wow, what is going on with this guy? And he's like, hey, want me to tell your mom that you're a vampire? He knows Caroline's a vampire and everything. How does he know this stuff? So he's like, hey, you know, back up and get on out of here. And he's like, chick, I got your friend. You ain't gonna do nothing. You can't take me. And Caroline says, you want to bet? So she quick yokes him up, you know, jacks him up, and kicks his monkey ass, literally kicked his ass in there. Get your ass into the tree. And then he's on the ground like a punk biatch. You just got your ass whooped. Stay on the ground, punk. But I was like, man, go Caroline, kick his monkey ass. And Caroline became my girl right then. So we get down here at the end here, and Elena comes down like she's gonna do something. Oh, I'm gonna stop you. They're like, nah, yeah, you ain't stopping nothing. So they quick yoked her up real quick, and there was nothing she could do until Caroline came down. I don't know if it was really necessary to bite on the mofo. She could have stopped him without biting on him. But, yeah, I don't know about all that. But maybe she was hungry, but I don't know if it was all necessary. And she's like, hey, Mom, what up? You know, check this out. You know, this Bloodbeard or whatever. It was not necessary, but she just wanted to make an entrance. Anyway, so Damon's over here recovering and chewing on the deputy and sucking some blood out of the deputy. And, you know, it was an unfortunate situation. As Damon even said, this is an unfortunate situation. And he told old girl, hey, I should just draw out your death. Because she had told Damon, I'm going to draw this out painfully. Damon's like, maybe I should draw this out painfully. But he decides, you know what, we're not going to kill anyone. No one's going to get killed right now. So what are they going to do, man? You know, she knows stuff. 2 deputies are killed. And what's going to happen to Liz? You know, I really like Liz. So you don't want her killed. But what are they going to do, man? Well, anyway, I'm at the 15-minute mark here for YouTube. So why don't you check out for the next part. And thanks for watching.